Hey, what's up, everybody? It's New York Rangers on the ice. Another week for the Rangers. Um, Nice to be 8-3. Unfortunately, we got some bad news this week. We got Adam Fox on a long-term IR, so we can't return until the 29th at the earliest. So that's going to be really a big adjustment for the Rangers here, unfortunately, for them. But you better have an injury earlier than have it later. Also, Hedo's on short-term IR, so you know, lost both those players in the Wild game, in the game prior to the last game. Uh, so unfortunately, you're gonna have to deal with those two injuries. So your lines now, are going to be Crier, Zibanejad, Wheeler, which is interesting. I find that quite interesting. He has them all the way up there. Um, Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, Cully, Bonino, Capocacco. Put Capocacco on the third line, which I think is a little interesting. You could tell that from the last game, they didn't really play a very good game. They really had a lot of defensive lapses. A lot of the lines combinations didn't seem to match up. So, you know, Laviolette wants to make a change, and let's see how it works. You got VZ, Goudreau, and Pitlick, and Jonathan Quick is going to start tonight. And then you have Jones and Snyder as a third pair. I really don't like that pairing going forward with these couple injuries you got to deal with. Lindgren, Gustafson, I thought Gustafson's played well. They got Miller and Trouba at the top, and Trouba's had an excellent season. So, but we'll get on to it here. Um, they played 2 games, since last week. One was the the Hurricanes, uh, you know, which is a really tough game, a really tough test for the Rangers. This game was close throughout. And so let's see. Got a comment here. Paul Spencer says, Rangers killed me. What's up, Danny? What's going on, Paul? Rangers killed me Saturday night in the shootout. I hate shootouts. I hate shootouts. The Rangers really had a bad, second half of the second period and the third period. They ended up tying the game but losing that. But we'll talk about that game going forward here. But in the Canes game, I thought it was a really tough game, defensive game, close game, like I thought it was. The Hurricanes are a solid hockey team. They've been a contender. A couple of years ago, the Rangers met them in the playoffs and ended up moving on, advancing, and beating them and losing to Tampa Bay. But early on, the Rangers get a power play early in this game here. Um, you know, Rangers comes out, Trocheck makes a nice move into the zone. Passes to Panarin, and Panarin makes this sick backhand pass. And it goes right to Panarin. He nails it right in that 1-0 early in the game. It's always good to get a 1-0 lead early in games, especially versus the Canes. But I knew this game was going to be close throughout. I knew it was going to be a tough game because the Canes are one of the better hockey teams in the NHL. So it's always tough versus them. The Rangers get another power play later in the period. Uh, uh, Canes end up killing it. So, they have a good PK. Good in the neutral zones. You're not going to score every time versus them. Later on in the period, the Canes get a power play, and then Jarvis splits the defense. It was good speed. And ends up beating Shesterkin, went right under his glove. Fortunately, really good shot by Jarvis. He's got a lot of speed, and he had a lapse on the power play. You give him a power play goal, it's tied 1-1. So, that's the way it remained. A lot of this game was very close. Near the end, the Canes got a couple of chances. A lot of traffic in front of Shesterkin, but made a good save early. Near the end of the first, the Canes started to get a little bit of good pressure. Early in the second, Shesterkin makes another good save with lots of traffic. Terry White takes so the Canes are playing us tough. And then this was like a huge play in the game. Probably saved this game from going to overtime later in the game. Terry White takes a shot, kind of deflects off of one of the Rangers defenders. Then bounces off of Schneider and goes over Shesterkin and almost goes over the line. And Trocheck makes a huge save and knocks it out of the net. We're talking like an inch or two, a millimeter from going in the net. So that's a close call there. fortunately, the Rangers got a little lucky and it ended up not going in. So it ends up, stays, stays 1-0. Stays 1-1. I apologize. Um, Later period, the Rangers make a really good defensive play. Panarin enters the neutral zone and passes it to Hito, who makes a really nice pass into the zone, the offensive zone. Then passes to Lafreniere. Lafreniere gets a real good shot, but make the save. Anderson makes the save. Really good chance. Hito had a chance on a rebound, but he didn't go in. Um, so that's all right. Canes had another power play about 1 minute 30 into the power play. Shusterk makes two really good saves, really key save on a rebound also. Canes come really close to scoring. Kind of stayed that way real close. Well, end of the second. Both teams, a defensive battle. The third period, Canes had really good pressure early. Shusterkin had to make some key saves early on. They kind of went, back and forth in this game. This game was really tight defensively. And then later in the period, in the third, Truba makes a really good play along the boards and makes a really nice pass to Kreider, and the Rangers take the lead 2-1. And there's about 7 minutes left in the game. Um, so, the Rangers played a real good defensive game this game. Um, you know, they really, held them down defensively. Getting the goal late, gave them some momentum. Some close calls like later in the game, like 7 minutes in or so, where Shesterkin made some saves. But it's a good win for the Rangers. They they beat the Canes. Uh, I said F the Canes as soon as they won because I like beating that team. I don't like them for some reason. For whatever reason, I just don't like them. But the Rangers end up winning this one 2-1. Really solid game for the Rangers. But like I said, in this game, they had a couple players that got hurt. One of the big ones was Adam Fox, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you're not going to have him for about a month. But Gustafson is like a poor man's Adam Fox. I've heard some people say cover the Rangers. So we'll see what happens with the Rangers. They just really got to stay together, hang in there till they get those players back. But on to the next game, the Minnesota Wild. This game started out awesome for the Rangers. Yeah, they're running on all cylinders. But things went awry. In the middle of this game. But Jonathan Quick got the start in this game. I think Shesterkin was a little banged up. He's not playing tonight. Actually, Quick is going to play. So Quick, I thought played well early in this game. Early in the first period, VZ gets a goal. This is kind of like a weird goal. Gustafson kind of takes a shot, goes off Pitlick, and then goes towards the net and bounces off VZ and goes in the net. 1-0 Rangers. The Rangers get a little lucky there. I'll take it. 1-0. That's the way hockey goes. Sometimes you get a lucky bounce, a game of inches, and the puck goes in. So, so I'll take that goal. A few minutes later, like not even 2 minutes later, Panarin scores, making it 2-0. Um, you know, another really nice goal by Panarin. He buries it. Like Panarin's having a hell of a season so far. I think he's got almost 20 points. He might have a point streak in like 11 or 12 games. So he's been having a really great season so far. It's really nice to see Panarin having a good season. He seems a lot more focused this year, where last year he really didn't have a good as a season. So it's nice to see him get another goal. Um, and then later in the period, a couple minutes later, Rangers get another goal. Gustafson makes it 3-0 on a really nice shot. The Rangers kind of get a little mismatch. I think they got like a 4-on-3. One of the Wild players, fell back on defense. Got behind them, and Gustafson makes a really nice wrist shot over the left shoulder of Fleury, who played well later in this game. Fleury's a big reason why they won this game. He made some key saves in this game, and at his age, he's older. He still plays well. And Paul knows Fleury very well. He knows Andre Fleury very well. Um, so the Wild get a power play. They get good pressure early on. Quick makes some really good saves. Like I think Quick had a good game, but the Rangers are unfortunately later in the game left him hung out to dry in this one. The Wild started to get good pressure late in the first. The second period was not a very good period for the Rangers at all. It might have been one of their worst periods of probably the season. I think part of it has to do with the injuries, not having Fox. He's probably our best defensive player. And he's such a dynamic player. Having him out of the game, the first game, when teams put pressure on you, you don't adjust as well. You have some different pairings on that defense there. So it's really tough to adjust them. And the Wild have talent, but about 6 minutes in the period, the Wild get a goal. Quick ends up losing his stick on this, and you hate it when the goaltender loses his stick. It's like behind the net. You can't leave the net. You know, it gets thrown to the net, it ends up going in, 3-1. They took a whack at it, and took another whack, and it ended up going in. Got behind quick, and unfortunately, that goal goes in, making it 3-1. A couple minutes later, the Rangers' lapses continue. It seems like when they you know at a certain point they really just started just not playing well in this game at all, and really got out of the game. But the Wild scored another goal. Again, a horrible lapse on defense. Quick had no chance. The Rangers had a really bad defensive lap, left the guy wide open, and it was a wide open net. And Eriksson Ek like buried it. He's not going to miss that goal. You cannot have that mistake. So a little stretch here, but the Rangers are having a real tough time. The, this period just was not a good period for them. Really bad, like 10 minutes of this period really cost them. A few minutes then into the third period, early in the third, Zuccarello gets a tipping goal, tying it 3-3. So another defensive lapse. I think this is on a power play. And it was a tip in by Zuccarello, who leads the Wild in points. I think he's got like 12 or 13 points. And I love Zuccarello. I miss him as a Ranger, but he's such a dynamic player. You need to look out for him. And he was a reason they ended up winning this game eventually. About 4 minutes later, the Wild score again. Rossi scores. Um, to take the lead. Another defensive lapse for the Rangers. This is another weird goal because like it was kind of thrown at the net and went off his stick, ended up on Rossi's stick, and he buried it. It went right in there, right in there. I'm like you should get any unlucky. Like the Rangers got kind of unlucky in a couple of situations on these goals, but that's the way it goes. Traffic in front of the net, you get those dirty goals. And they really got a good amount of goals in this game like that. Um, like I said, another defensive lapse for the Rangers. Like they really got out of their game in this 10-minute stretch in the third period. It's really unfortunate in the second and third period, I should say. Um, so, but you get a broken signal. Look, so a few minutes later, Rangers end up tying it up. Kreider gets a deflection goal, what he's awesome at. He's always great at that. Um, and that makes it 4-4. Panarin with another point, another assist for him. I think he had 2 points in this game. I have to go and look. But this game this was late in the third, so this game ends up going to overtime. Really not a good overtime period for the Rangers at all, really, to be honest. And I hate the 3-on-3 overtime. I wish we did like a 5-on-5 10-minute overtime. That would be really nice. So that would be convenient. But it ends up going, nobody scores in the overtime. It ends up going to a shootout. And I hate the shootouts. A lot of people I know are Rangers fans, hockey fans hate the shootout. It's not really the way you want to end a game. I'd rather it end in a tie and not have a shootout. Give me a 10-minute 5-on-5, and I think that's a little bit better way to do it. Each team, will get a point for overtime. I think that's kind of a better way. I really hate the shootout. But Zuccarello again had a great move from backhand to forehand, really faked out quick, and quick like slid down onto the ice, and easy goal for Zuccarello. Like really, really, really easy goal. Unfortunately, and then Panarin is up first in the shootout, and he's up getting the goal. Fleury tried to poke check. He kind of tipped the puck, and Panarin was still in control, and he backhanded it right in the net, 1-1. So, you know, Panarin again, coming up big. He's been coming up big all season. all season long. So I just love the way Panarin is playing. And so uh, uh, the Wild end up scoring. I didn't write down who scored here. I apologize. And it ends up being 2-1 in the shootout. So the Rangers are down 2-1. They made an odd choice. I know Laviolette picked Trocheck to take the last shot, but I'm picking like Kako or Lafreniere or someone just a little more skill. I like Trocheck, but if I'm picking, if I need a goal in the shootout, I'm not going to pick Trocheck. But the Rangers do end up getting a point at least. Uh, Game started out great. They were up 3-0. They came out flying, and it just sucks that you lose a game like this. So let Jonathan Quick hung out to dry. But when you have defensive lapses, and you give the team a lot of chances, they had 93 shot attempts and 38 shots on goal. The Rangers only had 14. So when you get outshot, by that much, that many attempts, that's not how the Rangers want to play. And they were totally out of their element, and the Wild did a good job. You got to give the Wild some credit. They really did a good job, coming back from that being down 3-0, sticking with it and taking advantage of the opportunities that the Rangers had. Unfortunately, like I said, the Wild win this one 5-4, 5-4, and you know the Rangers go 1-1. Um, you know, since last week, since last Tuesday. So 8-3 is not a bad record. It's a really excellent start. They have 17 points, I think. So I think they should just just keep doing what you're doing, and you know, you know, deal with the injuries. We'll see how these lineups work out tonight. I find it really interesting that Wheeler is up on the first line. I did not expect that, but I will admit Wheeler's been playing a little bit better. He's been playing a little bit better. I'll do a couple sponsors here, and then we'll talk about the schedule coming up. They play the Red Wings tonight at 7:30. They're an up-and-coming team. I'm interested to see how they play. Like I said, Jonathan Quick is going to get the start tonight. Uh, which I know they sent a bunch of guys down, and I thought that was good news for Shesterkin, and I thought he would be playing. But maybe they just want to hold him out one more game. It's important to make sure that he's 100% and doesn't have an injury that he's going to aggravate, because they definitely need him big time. Whatever hurt, 123, attorney Big Al Jason Fine. If you ever have a motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, personal injury claims, uh, you want to sue your neighbor, something like that. I want to sue the New York Giants right now. Sorry, totally off topic, everybody, but whatever hurt, 123. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area is one location. They have another location in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and another location in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. If you're around any of these areas or you need legal help, one ear hurt, 123, attorney Big Al, Jason Fine. Monkey Cult Coffee, the evolution of flavor infused coffee. Use the promo code OETB Sports at the checkout. MonkeyCultCoffee.com. Get 10% off your order. They have 4 flavors right now. Always come out with new flavors all the time. Bourbon chocolate chip, toasted coconut rum, Sumatran blend. All 3 are excellent. Their newest blend, organic blend in Peru and Florida. So once again, use the promo code OTB Sports at the checkout at monkeycoldcoffee.com to get 10% off your order. All right. So a little look ahead to the schedule here. Uh, Rangers today, like I said, they play the Red Wings. Jonathan Quick will get the start tonight. I think he will play well. The Raiders defense really need to tighten things up defensively. You can't have any defensive lapses um, like the last time. But the Raiders had a bad game versus Nashville early in the season. They seemed to have bounced back from that bad loss. So I expect the Raiders to bounce back tonight and play well. I think Panarin will keep playing well. I'm interested to see if Wheeler will stay on that first line. I find that interesting. I think the first line has not produced very much. Kreider has been excellent, but he's been really the only guy stepping up. But it's more on the power play. 5v5, Mika, Zibanejad, and Kako weren't really producing that much. It was really the second line that has been really driving this offense with Panarin, Hedel. Unfortunately, he's injured, and Lafreniere. And I think Lafreniere looks excellent. He may not have as much points, but he's not the guy you're depending on for points. He's just a contributor. So I'm interested to see how they do, how the lines do. I think of the line of Cully, Bonino, and Kako could be good because Bonino's a good center. Will Cooley has played excellent so far. I think he's had a really good rookie season. Tara Dizzle says, "Let's go Avs." Boo. I haven't watched one Avs game. I don't even know what their record is at all, to be honest. Um, like I said, I expect but I want a little bit more out of this first line. Let's see how Blake Wheeler does with Zibanejad and Kreider. Blake Wheeler did have 60 points last year. Laviolette was mentioning it earlier this week in one of his media availabilities that he's a talented player. It's an adjustment for him. Let's see how he does with a little more talent. But I do like that he kept Lafreniere where he is. He's keeping Lafreniere where he is. But Kako, that third line might be pretty good with Benito, Kako, and Cooley. So I like the third line. But like I said, let's see how they play versus the Red Wings tonight. I really hope that they just play a good game, bounce back, and they get to 9-3 and get some more points here. Get almost to 20 points. So they have the Wild tonight at 7:30. I mean, not the Wild, the Red Wings tonight at 7:30, and then they get the Wild at home again. So the Wild again on Thursday at 7 p.m. at home. Then they will play the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets on Sunday, November 12th at 7 p.m. So I think the Raiders could go. I say they're going to go 2-1 here. I think they'll beat the Red Wings. I think at worst they'll go 2-1. At best 3-0 because I do think they're better than the Blue Jackets. But no Adam Fox, no Hedel makes it a little different. The Wild, we'll see how that goes. I think that'll be a close game because the Wild, I think, are going to get a little momentum off that win they had versus us. Red Wings, I really hope so. And then, not like next week, but the week after, November 18th, we finally got the Devils. You're not going to have Adam Fox. Hedel, I don't know. That's like 10 days out, so we really don't know yet. But like I said, on the season, I really like the way the Rangers are playing. I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. You had a tough loss in Minnesota, but you can always bounce back. There's 82 games a season. So, I would like to see Lafreniere keep playing well. I expect Panarin to play well. I would like to see a little more from the first line. I almost think that, Call Curry, I always think that you should put Lafreniere on the first line, but you don't want to change what's working. So, hopefully the Raiders get another win tonight. I'm really excited the way they're playing. I really like their style of play. I really like Laviolette. He seems to have them disciplined. So, let's see if the Raiders could, keep on going here. It's a long season. Not a long show tonight because there's only been 2 games. There's only a couple of things to talk about. The 2 big things are the injury. Shesterkin, let's hope he plays the next game. It's not too serious. I really haven't looked in the past hour. I looked earlier, but I know Jonathan Quick's going to get the start tonight. And I'm glad to see Jonathan Quick playing well. It's a good backup to have, when Shesterkin can't play. So, let's go Rangers. Thank you everybody for watching. Short little show tonight just to review the past week. Talk about the next week for the Rangers, and I'll be back next Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. talking New York Rangers hockey on Rangers on the Ice. So thank you everybody for joining me. Give me a like, subscribe, and a follow, and I will see you all next week. And let's go Rangers.